And the one thing I always tell students that I'm teaching, the heel and lace pad, some people get in the habit of kind of putting it up here. Where the issues are going to happen are right at that the tendon and the calcaneus, where the Achilles and the calcaneus meet. That's where that heel and lace pad needs to be. Because that's where all those tapes kind of cut and cross. So that's where the friction is going to be the highest. So that's where you put that one. I haven't really ran into too many problems with the one on the laces, but just put it right in the middle and you're usually pretty safe. It's this heel and lace pad that gives the most comfort. So those won't stick. So let's just pre-wrap a little bit. The protocol, I'll get you started. Protocol is base of the gas drop. So when it just starts to flare out a little bit, is about as high as you want to go. And again, for patient comfort, we'll use pre-wrap. And try to just go over everything once. And if you don't cover, especially down here or on the bottom of the foot, it's not a big deal. There's no hair there. And plus you want to take the skin at least a little bit to give it some quote-unquote bite. You know, athletes won't like you. You have to. If you just put it all in the pre-wrap, it's just going to roll off and it's not going to do anything, which most athletes would love, but that's not what we're in the business for. So I'm going to be mean to Morgan a little bit and fake to the skin. So anchor strip there. And for the sake of the textbook, we'll do what they say, 3 strips. Anchor there. I'll tell you this, but I will also say, if you're doing it on a student athlete, this anchor strip is really not that important. I never do it on an athlete because I've had too many people say it bothers them, and it really doesn't do a whole lot to the integrity of the tape job. So you can do it if you want. The textbook's going to tell you to do it this way. If you're doing it to someone in the AT facility, I probably wouldn't. But again, you can make your own judgments and figure things out when you get going. So we have our anchors. So first strips are the stirrups and the horseshoes. As the stirrups down, they go from top to bottom to top again. And again, always going medial to lateral to pull an eversion to prevent that inversion mechanism. And I use the malleoli kind of as guides to A, make sure I have enough coverage with these strips, and B, give myself that nice basket weave look. So the first stirrup is going to be posterior to the malleoli. The first horseshoe is going to be superior to the malleoli. Second stirrup on the malleoli. Second horseshoe on the malleoli. Third stirrup anterior. And last horseshoe inferior. So you have that basket weave. And you eliminate a lot of windows if you spread these out, because a lot of the windows will occur about right there. And if you have these spread out far enough, you never have to worry about it. So make sure that you're doing that half lap and you're using those malleoli as guides to where you lay those horseshoes and stirrups. Next, we have figure eights and horseshoes. And for the sake of the education, I'll separate them out. I usually do them all at once, but we'll do figure eights first. And there'll be 2 figure eights, I said horseshoes, heel locks. 2 figure eights, 2 heel locks. How I start the figure eights is I kind of go in line with the stirrups and half lap it anteriorly. Then you go around the bottom to the front, around the back to the front. There's 1 figure eight. You can do it the same way, you can do it the opposite way. There's different schools of thought. I'll just show the opposite way just to do it. So again, same line as the stirrup. Around 2 figure eights. Dr. Lou I know it likes the way you start at the bottom, and you wrap around, like so. Personal preference. Try them both ways, see what you like. Now, the heel locks. Some of the tougher, probably the toughest part of the tape job, but it's really where you stabilize it the most. So, again, going medial to lateral. How I start my angle is kind of angling back towards that calcaneus, whereas the figure eights were more vertical. This is a little bit more of a diagonal. So you start front of the foot, arch, Achilles, front, Achilles, arch, done.
Took me so long to get.
So for the sake of the video and we'll do that the same way. So front of the foot, arch, Achilles, front, Achilles, arch, front. Those are the two heel locks, and then go strips. And watch out for the threads. And one thing to note, why am I going distal proximal on those? Something you don't really think about, but it makes a lot of sense. If I went from here to here, what's going on top of this?
Sock.
They pull them up, so if you tape up, that's covered going up.